Hello, Kansas City. Welcome to KUAW, Kansas City's global community radio station. You're tuned in to Jessica Lynn Speaks Life. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are excited. I am excited. Today is a day of a new month, May the 1st. And this is a special month because, one, it is Mother's Day this month. Two, it is National Menstrual Hygiene Day, and we are here to talk about it. National Menstrual Hygiene Day. I have some advocates on with me today, and I'm so excited to introduce you to them and let you hear what we're doing in the community and across the globe. But first things first, thank you, Giving Hope and Help, for sponsoring this show, Jessica Lynn Speaks Life. We're excited about all the things that Giving Hope and Help is doing, and I would like to share that we are gearing up for our 8th annual Education is Your Passport Scholarship Program. 8th annual, yes, you heard that right. 8 years we've been going strong, awarding college scholarships. In 8 years, we have awarded 79 college scholarships, including 4 full rides to MCC Penn Valley. Listen, it is not too late for you to share this beautiful opportunity with any high school senior. We need local applicants. We have received applicants from across the country. That is flattering, but we would love to have more applicants in Kansas City so that we can share the expertise and the gifts and the talents with the community and cultivate it right here in Kansas City. So if you know a high school senior that is college bound to a college of their choice, please tell them to go to givinghopeandhelp.org so that they can apply for our phenomenal scholarships. We have real money to award, real money. I'm talking thousands of dollars to award, including scholarships, laptop computers, bed and a bag set, so much more that we have to award. We also have a full ride, books, fees, and tuition paid for MCC Penn Valley. That is going to a high school senior or a single parent. Yes, a single parent, male or female, that has never gone to college before. Go out to givinghopeandhelp.org. The deadline is in 15 days, May the 16th. May the 16th is the deadline. Listen, if you'd like to come and celebrate with us at the scholarship program, that is June 30. You can learn more information at givinghopeandhelp.org. Thank you so much, Giving Hope and Help. Thank you for all those that donate and help our mission to grow and change the trajectory of lives locally and across the globe. Thank you. Hello, Lindsay, and hello, Nicole. We have two powerhouse menstrual equity advocates with us today. I myself am a menstrual equity advocate with Giving Hope and Help, the nonprofit that I founded back in 2013. And our initial arm of outreach was specifically to end period poverty in domestic violence shelters and to support those that have been affected by domestic violence. So we have expanded that, as you may or may not know, to supporting women, girls, and menstruators locally and across the globe. We're going to talk a lot about more of what we do to break the barriers of the taboo and the stigma with menstrual cycles and the period, or whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to talk about National Menstrual Hygiene Day, which is May 28th. Now, we have two phenomenal guests, as I mentioned. Nicole Springer is the founder of No Shame. And then Lindsay is the Kansas City advocate for I Support the Girls. We are so excited to have you, ladies. Welcome to Jessica Lynn Speaks Life.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You can speak. I think you're wanting to speak, but you're just smiling, Nicole. So yes, you can speak.
Well.
And I know that you have a powerful voice, a singing voice as well. So Nicole is also a musician. So we are a group of women with many talents, and we wear many hats. I see Lindsay is in her car, probably being taxi mom or have been taxi mom or something of that nature. So we wear many hats, but I do want you both to introduce yourselves, because no one can talk about you like you. And then we're going to go into some interview questions and share more about National Menstrual Hygiene Day. Nicole, would you please do us the honor? Tell us a little bit about you and No Shame.
Sure. Yeah. Well, thank you for the awesome introduction and for allowing me to be a part of the conversation today. It's a real honor. Again, I love the community that you're bringing here today. So thank you. So yeah, I founded No Shame. It's No Shame, a period product project for our underserved community. I started it in September of 2020, and it was kind of my response to the pandemic and kind of starting to get involved in some of the houseless picnics that are hosted around Kansas City. And I was just kind of snapped into reality when I saw a tweet of all things that said, normalize donating pads to homeless shelters. And it blew my mind because I was already working with some of the houseless community, and I hadn't even thought of period products, first of all, as administrator myself. And second of all, I experienced period poverty myself in my early 20s and housing instability, among other things. And so all in all, I realized I needed to do something to help bring attention to that need because I had woken up and it was my time to plant seeds of awareness. And so it started as a project, something that was just a day-to-day, let's just help fill this need, take this off people's plates. And it turned into, within 14 months, over 32,000 products donated. And so far, over 2,800 period packs donated to organizations all over the metro. So that's who we are. We're trying to take the shame out of having a period and the shame out of experiencing poverty of any kind. We want to lift each other up. So that's what it's about.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. One of the things that you shared, a term that you use, I woke up. I love that because so many women, and I'm sure that both of you can vouch, when they learn about what we do, it's like an aha moment for them. They're like, I never even thought of it. Oh my God. And for us, I'm sure it's like, wow, if we don't stand up for each other, who is? We're the one that's, we're born to menstruate. This is not certainly going to come to a man's mind. You know what I mean? And right. So we have work to do. And so thank you so much for doing the work. Thank you for your dedication and your time and your talents in doing the work. And one thing that I always say is, I heard you say that, you yourself experienced period poverty in your 20s. Oftentimes, everything that we go through is for purpose. And I think that you experiencing that in your 20s was purposeful for a time as this. So yes, thank you for your yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Miss Lindsay, hello.
Hi, friend.
My friend, my sis, no stranger to me, and you may have seen Lindsay and Nicole as well. Nicole is a new sister in this battle, but Lindsay and I have been partnering for a while and slaying period poverty.
Yes.
And we are, I think all the three of us are connected. I would like to give a quick shout out to Michaela. She's not with us today. She is the founder of Strawberry Week. And we'll talk a little bit more about that collaboration with the three of us as well. But Lindsay, yes, I diverse when I say your name, but go ahead. Who are you?
Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate it. I'm happy to be here with both of you. So thank you again for the invite. And so I have been the affiliate director for I Support the Girls. It's an international nonprofit that started in Maryland about 6 years ago. When a woman named Dana Marlowe kind of had that aha moment too, when she had donated some bras to a domestic violence shelter. And they said, no one's ever, delivered these before, and they are a high need and they're not cheap. And she said, what else do you need? And they said menstrual products. So a few years ago, before I knew about I Support the Girls, I've been a social worker before, and I was staying home with my kids, and they were growing up a little bit, getting more independent. And I had this kind of social worker energy that I needed to do something. And so I just reached out to family and friends, and I said, let's collect menstrual products for the month of February for my birthday. And we were able to donate enough for 3 different middle schools locally and 3 domestic violence shelters. And I feel like that kind of lit the fire of menstrual equity. And it's only blossomed from there and grown, and just kind of put me down this path of trying to be more educated on what is out there in this community. What is everybody doing? Where are there gaps? And if there's something small that we can do to contribute, that's what we're trying to do. And at the time, I Support the Girls didn't have a Kansas City affiliate. So they said, will you do it? And I said, absolutely. And that was about 3 years ago. And it's just been an incredible journey meeting so many awesome people like you two. So happy to be here.
My story of how I started with this thing is just, wow. I think it started in 7th grade. When I got my cycle, and I had seen other girls, mess their pants up at school. And I had this thing in my mind, I'm going to beat my period. I'm not going to mess up my pants. I'm going to be prepared. And so I kept track of my cycle, and I knew when it was coming. And so I would always wear panty liners that whole week prior to, just in case, because sometimes that thing switches up on you. Mm-hmm. and it says, hello, I'm 3 days early, or I'm a week early, and you're like, what? Yeah. And so you're kind of off guard. And so I would always make certain that I had products in my backpack and in my locker. And when I, began to drive, I had them in my glove box, taught my daughter to have them in her glove box. And in 7th grade, I can recall not only needing them for myself, but I also was the girl that they would ask, do you have a pad? And I would always have a pad, not just for me, but for someone else. And I never really thought about that until maybe like a year ago. Wow, it wasn't that long ago. I had been doing Giving Hope and Help. But what I can tell you is how I really started Giving Hope and Help with the period poverty is, again, my birthday, like you, Lindsay. My birthday was coming up, and it was October. I had a Thanksgiving birthday. I knew that I was going to launch a nonprofit. I knew it was about women. I knew it supported women, just didn't know exactly what. And I happened to have a lot of pads myself because I would coupon just for that item only. And I would coupon and get the price match at Walmart. Back then, they stopped that now, but you could take the ads of other stores to Walmart and get that sale. And then I had the coupon on top of that. So I was getting like jumbo packages for like $2. It was crazy. And I was packing up, and I had them in my, under my bed in a storage bin. I had them in the closet. I had them in storage bins in the closet. I had them everywhere. I had them in the pantry, not in the pantry, in the laundry closet. And so I was just like, what am I going to do with all of these things? And I knew that I was starting this nonprofit. Again, didn't know what, had no idea, but was physically in my closet and said, oh my goodness, what about the women at domestic violence shelters? Now, I had spoken to domestic violence, spoken at shelters before, but I really hadn't shared my personal story of everything that I had gone through because I wasn't quite ready and set free completely. But now I'm set free. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this how this period thing went. And so I'm physically in my closet, and I'm like, what am I going to do with these pads? So I said, I'm going to give them to friends and family for Christmas in September and Christmas in October. And I did that. And I still had some left. And I said, wow, what about the women in domestic violence shelters? So then I just went about my way. So thought crossed my mind. I'm driving along. I'm telling you, it just fell on me. What about the domestic violence shelters? I had to pull over. And I pulled over into a parking lot, and I got on my phone and I made a couple of calls. The first call, I got a voicemail. The second call, I got the voice. I call her the voice to this day. She knows who she is. It's amazing. When I shared this story for the very first time, she was in the audience because she heard that I was speaking. I had no idea she was in the audience. Came up to me after I shared the story, and I just lost it. But the voice answered the phone. And the voice said, I asked her, do you need period products? This is a domestic violence shelter. And she says, oh my God, yes, we get, shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, we get all that stuff. This is in 2013. Now, period poverty wasn't a word, it wasn't anything big going on, buzzing around. I never even heard anybody else talk about it. I mean, I thought I was in this thing all by myself, right? Mm-hmm. So she said, she said, yes, we need those. And I says, I'm going to solve that problem. I didn't have a business plan. I didn't have anything, but I knew that moment, I knew was it. I knew that was I knew that was my answer. And when I said, I'm going to solve that problem, I promise you, I didn't know that I was saying that. It just kind of came out of my mouth. And she says, I tell you what, would you like to come and take a tour? I said, I would love to come and take a tour. I said, I'm on the side of the road in a parking lot in Lee Summit. And she says, where are you in Lee Summit? And I told her where I was. Are you ready, Lindsay? You got your seatbelt on? You might want to put it on. I was directly across the street. Mm-hmm. I was across the street from the place, unmarked, had no idea. At that moment, I knew it was a God thing. Then she invited me to come over, and that's not something that is normal, that you just get to come over and make a visit without a background check or anything like that. So I went over, and she shared with me as sometimes they use up to 52 rolls of toilet paper a day. Wow. And I just said, wow, I'm going to solve that problem. And so I had less than 6 weeks to pull it together. And we launched November 30th, 2013 with our first annual feminine hygiene products drive, specifically collecting pads and tampons, all things period, for domestic violence shelter, Hope House, both locations in Jackson County. And we collected over 5,000 products. I was just really blown away. That was 2013. Fast forward, we're around the world. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. So do not despise small beginnings. They grow, they grow, they grow. And how can it not grow when you're doing something that is such a need? Oh my God, such a need for the world. 2.3 billion people lack sanitary care. 2.3 billion people. Wow. At any day, 800 million people are menstruating. Wow. Yeah. So what is our response, Nicole?
Yeah, I mean, it's an ongoing need on top of it. So it's just what we're trying to do is meet the need, basically. We're trying to reach as many people in the underserved communities we possibly can and trying to meet the ongoing need. I know there's bigger picture things to work with, like removing the luxury tax and getting things like WIC to cover period products to make it easier for people in poverty that can't afford the resources. But that's kind of what I look at as the bullet points of what we look at to try to make a difference. But
you make a very sharp point about removing the tax, and we've advocated to remove the tax, and Lindsay, you can chime in on that. Removing the tax.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I know Kansas and Missouri have both had different bills in place that would remove the tax on menstrual products. To my knowledge, up till today, nothing has been passed. It's kind of stopped in Kansas, unfortunately, but hopefully it'll shift and rework itself where it will pass, because we did have the chance to go to the state capitol a couple months ago and give testimony on our firsthand experience of not only being menstruators, but being people that provide these products and have our feet to the ground in the community and, really know just how important these are. Number one, how they have financial burden. Number two, and number three, really just like Nicole said too, getting rid of the shame or the stigma that these are luxury products when we all know they're medically necessary products, and really ideally should be in every bathroom, period. When there's toilet paper, there should be period products available. And so we're trying different things to work with different school districts too, to maybe focus on a local school district that is prepared to put free products in their bathrooms or into a couple of their bathrooms, and hopefully phasing that out in a larger scale at some point. But we do think it's an inconvenience for anybody, even if you know the day you're going to start, you might not have product on you, or it's in your backpack, or there just really shouldn't be any barriers. And we all understand and know that. And currently right now, a lot of our schools, the students that need these products have to ask an adult or a nurse or a third party or somebody else to get the products. And that's a barrier that shouldn't be there.
I 100% agreed. And, you know, who has a quarter or 50 cents or $1 or 75 cents? Because those are the prices that I've seen in the bathroom. I've seen a quarter, I've seen 50, I've seen 75, and I've seen $1. And who has that on them? Like, people really don't carry cash much anymore. You know, they should be free, period. They're essential products. And one of the things that I'd like to shout out to all of the female and male lawmakers, politicians, jump on board with this. I mean, it's an item of dignity. It's a necessity. It is essential. It is a normal bodily function, and it is in line with reproductive health, women's health. If we do not take care of this problem, we will increase the world problem that we have with reproductive issues. Women are makeshifting their own in prisons, in places, domestic violence shelters. You know, wow. So December 11th of 2021, we had our 9th annual feminine hygiene product drive. Yeah, from 2013 to 2021, it was our 9th annual feminine hygiene product drive, and we gave away $31,000 worth of feminine products that day. Lindsay, you were there. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that was a really great.
You counted the products out.
I did.
Your
worked my math skills that day. Yeah, you had a awesome system and community and people that showed up, and I know they've been showing up for years, but that was my first time being there, and it was an awesome community event where there was many, you know, domestic violence shelters, many vendors that work directly with people in the community that are struggling or are just living their lives and still have this need. And it was a really awesome event to be a part of. And we know there's so many people locally, you know, doing such great work and really trying to fill these gaps, whether it's the everyday ongoing stuff or the bigger picture. We need them both. And all of that's going to help continue to move the needle in the right direction of the biggest thing you said, and what we know every day is the dignity behind this. Everyone deserves their dignity to have their basic needs met.
Yes. And, you know, one of the things you said about the feminine drive, thank you for all the kind words, but what I was looking for was one of the things that you said about the other organizations. So there were 24 other organizations there that were nonprofits that set up their tables and shared with the community. And so what we're after what we're doing right now. No Shame and I Support the Girls and Giving Hope and Help and Strawberry Week. We have the same mission. Let's collaborate. We don't need a lot of silos. Now, with that day, with the Feminine Drive, there were not any other organizations that collect period products there other than I Support the Girls, which is great. And we welcome them all. We welcome No Shame. We welcome Strawberry Week. We welcome anyone that's doing that. But what I'm after with these feminine drives is for other nonprofits. Our initial mission statement was to partner with other nonprofits to compassionately make a difference. So we hold true to that. We partner with other nonprofits. So it could be something totally different from period products, but you're at our drive because we want you to share with the community what you do, because we are all members of this one community. And if we put your arm and my arm together, we can change the world.
Right.
And that's what we're doing at the national. I said national. Ooh, it will be national one day. We'll just speak that out at the annual Feminine Hygiene Product Drive. So keep in mind, December 10th, 2022 is going to be our 10th annual. Can you believe it? 10th annual Feminine Hygiene Period Products Drive, and we are excited to invite Strawberry Week and No Shame and I Support the Girls again, so that we can kill the stigma. It is just normal. Break the taboo. We believe, and I think I can speak for all three of us, on this part. We believe that no menstruator without period products must become a reality, period. Period. Now, once we can get past the tax, we want to go for free. We really want to go for free anyway. But, why isn't it free? What do you think about that, Nicole?
I think we have some antiquated legal system issues here, and obviously a luxury tax. And granted, I don't know the history of why that happened in the first place, but it seems to me to be based in some sexist view, and it's antiquated. It's time to go. It's a crisis. It's a period poverty crisis, and there's no other way to sugarcoat that. So to me, it's a no-brainer that sales tax should be exempt, or period products should be exempt from the luxury tax. It's just it's a human right issue, in my opinion.
Yes, human right. Exactly. I totally agree. I want to go back a little bit, Nicole, back to a little bit more about you. Let's dig a little bit deeper.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about what pushes you. What is your passion? I know that you experience period poverty, but I want to kind of let the listeners know a little bit more about you. I know that you're a musician. I think your music is compassionate, and it inspires people. So tell us a little bit about what is pushing you to be a full-time musician, as well as do this community work that takes a lot of work. This takes a lot of work. So how are you balancing this gift of music and art with being a community world changer?
Wow. Well, I'm practicing the balance every day. It is a practice, and some days it teeters, and I have to be really fair with myself, and I have to give myself grace and know it's all training ground. But at the same time, these are the moments of my life. So I try to really just be grateful in all of it, and the balance will find itself. But, since I was a little girl, music, I've been singing since I was 4 years old. And when I was 7 years old, I wanted to open an orphanage. I wanted to help kids. That's just the kind of heart I've always had. And as I grew up, I was going to be a music teacher. But at 19, I was disowned by my intermediate family and missed out on my opportunity to finish college at that time. Faced with housing instability, faced with period poverty. I didn't know it was period poverty until 2020 that I experienced, but that in fact was the case. If you struggle to afford your period products, if you have to scrape for change in a parking lot to buy a box of tampons, that's period poverty. So, well, long story short, music kind of went to the side. I was in survival mode. I had to get a job. I had to grow up very, very quickly, but eventually went back to music, used music as a way to get through my mental health journey, to find peace, to express out some of the grief of my life that it didn't turn out the way I had hoped it would. And by 2020, I guess it was just a full circle. Music had helped me heal enough to where I was ready to face the poverty, the trauma, the pain, the loss that I experienced when I was in my early 20s. And No Shame was just the perfect place to put that new healing power and confidence to say, when it's time to honor that person that went through that, and try to lift other people up. So it's been an absolute blessing to my life. And I sometimes have just this imposter syndrome about it. But the thing I liked, because you've been doing this since 2013. Lindsay, you've been doing this for several years. I'm not some pioneer at all. I'm just somebody who went through it and wanted to lend a hand. And what I shared just happened to reach people that hadn't heard it yet. And that's what we're all doing here, is planting seeds of awareness and taking that stigma away and waking people up to their own trauma. Because like you had mentioned, everyone that I talk to about this are like, my grandma really made me feel bad about this. I couldn't ask her a question about this, or I was embarrassed going to the store to buy a box of tampons. Why? And you see people healing as they're just talking about it. So music is mental health. No Shame is really mental health. And I just want to bring as much healing and joy to the world as I can. So that's me. That's what I do.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that, Nicole. So many things were going through my mind when you were speaking. Again, everything that you have survived is for purpose, is for this purpose. And so I'm so glad that you stood and you maintained. And through all of it, you still have a heart to give hope, to give help, to give inspiration to other people. That is the ticket. That is the ticket. You know, that is it. That's what it's all about. You know, clearly it's not all about you. And when you said, you know, I've been doing this since 2013, honey, I am learning something every single day. I didn't even know period poverty was a thing. I kind of just like fell into this. It was just divine. It was absolutely divine. And I would have to say, you know, again, for everything that I have survived is for purpose. And so, yes, I've been doing it for a minute, but I'm sure and positive we all can learn from each other. You are a trailblazer. You are a trailblazer. You're blazing the trail for change. And I appreciate it. Lindsay, I don't know if you heard the question. I know we had a little tech difficulty, but my question was to Nicole, and I want to ask it to you. You know, there's so much, you know, you have a professional degree, you've been in, you know, corporate America, you've done, you know, so much, and you're a mom. You know, where do you get this passion from to constantly give out to the community as a volunteer? you know, you know, as a volunteer, people don't understand the grit. They don't understand the grind. You know, people, what do you, you know, what have you been doing? I'm working. If I'm not working, I'm sleeping so I can work. If I'm not, if I'm not sleeping, I'm working so I can sleep. You know, I'm sleeping and I'm working and I'm sleeping and I'm working. I have an agenda, and that is to make a difference in this world. And I see you grinding. I see you doing it. And what is the passion and the drive behind that?
Thank you. That's a great question. I appreciate that. I feel, you know, very similar with the two of you. It's kind of something in me. I feel it. I feel a vibration of energy when I am helping people or when I'm using my gifts. I have grown to feel, I don't think I would have said the same thing 10 years ago, but where I'm at today is I have grown to this place of knowing what I'm good at, and knowing that I love connecting people and that I love helping where I can. And, you know, helping people does make you feel good. So it's just kind of brought joy to my life, honestly, a different kind of joy than I've had before. And, you know, filling my basement up with products voluntarily is something that, you know, I'm not able to give a lot of money to different organizations, but I do have time and energy. And so that's what I'm able to give. And one of the reasons I'm doing it is to show my kids. I want to model something to them that they might not see otherwise. And, you know, all of their needs are met all the time. They're, you know, we're good. So I'm trying to teach them, if we're good, what can we do to help somebody else? And that is a huge driving force for me. And, you know, my kids have helped me count products before. My son knows what a menstrual cup is. Like, there's certain things that I feel like this has sparked conversations amongst my dear friends where we're thinking, okay, let's talk to both our boys and girls about this stuff and why it's important to do that. And, you know, my 10-year-old daughter has talked about when she's eventually going to get her period in front of my brother, her uncle, and no shame about it. She's completely comfortable. And I just felt like that was a win.
Yes, absolutely. Really absolutely. Yeah. I love it. You know, when I first started this, my girlfriend and I often share this, and I don't think she knows that I often share this, but I'm gonna have to tell her that I share it. But she was talking to me and she says, when you started this, you just started talking about it like it, you know, like it was peanut butter and jelly. I said, well, it is.
Yep.
I said, she says, you didn't feel any kind of, I said, no, I didn't feel anything. I would be the woman in the grocery store with two baskets, pushing one, pulling the other one, full of period products. I mean, I didn't feel anything.
Right.
And when she brought that to my attention, I said, you know what? That's how you know you're walking in your calling.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know powerful. You're walking in your calling when you don't care what anybody thinks. It doesn't faze you. You know, I'm doing this not for me, but for somebody else. I'm doing this for the woman that I gave a purse to filled with 20 items yesterday who needed it.
Right.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Simply wow. Simply wow.
And I think that's a big part of it, is that those little connections are huge, right? They may feel like, okay, I'm giving this bag full of products, but what it does for you, what it does for that person. And then when you do that over and over and over again, that builds that momentum, that builds that passion. And it just shows you, it just reminds you and confirms that this is important work, why we're doing this is important.
Very important. And I just want to pause right here and just thank you both for doing the work. You know, thank you for doing the work. You may not hear that every day. You know,
Right.
You may not hear that from a counterpart or a girlfriend. You're not alone. I know what you do because I do it.
Right.
And it takes a lot. My family is downstairs having a fun time, you know, and I'm sure your families are doing what they're doing too on this beautiful Sunday after early evening. But we pause for the call. We pause for the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
We do what we need to do to help somebody else. You know, one thing about the internet and this conversation here, it can be heard anywhere in the world. And so, Nicole, what would you say to someone that could see this in a month or two next year? Who knows? You don't know who's going to see this. What would you say to someone that is in period poverty, or that has a call, or that went through a terrible thing with their family? What would you say?
Well, I would hope that they could sense from this conversation that they're absolutely not alone, that there is compassion here and all over the place. I mean, I think there are movements, certainly all over the country. I know I Support the Girls has, it's global now, is it not? I mean, there are organizations and communities all over the globe, and I would hope that they could feel comfortable to reach out to one of those communities and know that period poverty is something that's acknowledged and it's being fought to end. And they're not alone. I hope they can feel a sense of community. And just hearing this honest conversation, and even just talking and normalizing a period is so important, especially in other countries where you can't even discuss it. You can't even acknowledge that it exists. So yeah, please know you are not alone. And we're fighting for you here in Kansas City.
Right from the heart of America. So we're excited about the most recent thing that we've done together. Hey. Yes, baby. Lindsay, tell us about it. Tell the people about what we've done.
Yes. Well, I saw from our headquarters at I Support the Girls that they were able to get some boots on the ground in Poland that were going to help the beautiful people of Ukraine during such a difficult time. And I just immediately thought of you three, Jessica, Nicole, and Michaela. And I thought, let's do this together. And you all immediately jumped on it and donated a very generous amount from Giving Hope and Help and Strawberry Wheat Society and No Shame. We all came together, and a lot of my personal family and friends, you know, kind of helped us raise some of the funds for shipping. So what we did was we got over 11,711 pads shipped to Maryland, and then those have already been sent to Poland, and they're going to go with 4 different organizations there that are going to help get those out. And you know, in the big picture, they're having a crisis over there. Obviously, we know that. But if it can alleviate something, give some form of dignity to any of the menstruators over there, something that they had to flee with nothing. I mean, you know, we know the impact that hopefully that will have, and it has been an amazing collaboration.
Yeah, so we're excited to be a part of it. Wow, you know, I was trying to figure out how we could get the products to Ukraine, and I talked to some other organizations or clubs that drive 18-wheelers, and the goal was to get this 18-wheeler and to you know, get the community involved and fill it up. And I am so glad we went this route. I mean, and the sending it off was just amazing. You know, we came together and we boxed it up together. The 4 of us, Strawberry Week, Michaela, who's not with us today, lifting her and her family up at a difficult time of loss. And then Nicole was there, and of course, Lindsay and I, And it was such a fun time, getting those things together, taking them to ship them. And in my mind, I literally knew, Lindsay, and I didn't say it to you when we were at the office, but I knew it was going to be about $1,000 because I've got some experience with shipping. And wow, when he told us it was 900 something, almost $1,000, that's what it would be, the estimate. Lindsay and I just kept packing, and I'm in my spirit. I'm just praying, Lord, now you're going to have to fix this.
Yeah.
I'm praying in my spirit, I'm like, Lord, now we came in here with $445 to ship these things to Maryland so they could get to Poland for the beautiful people of Ukraine. And Lindsay is moving fast, and she's a whippersnapper. She's slaying boxes, and we're packing them, and the whole time she don't know, but I'm in my spirit, praying, God, you're gonna have to do something, because we're not about to pay no 900 something, almost $1,000 for this. And so I tell you, to make a long story short, wow, they gave us a discount at UPS, the Brookside store, Kansas City, Missouri. I'll give them a shout out. Yes, Brookside Chris. So they gave us a discount, and it brought us to about $757. And again, we had $445. And Lindsay's like, well, we'll just fundraise. I said, yeah, we'll just do it. We're not going to not do it. So we're just going to do it. Right. And so I believe to this moment that he was an angel, because I did not see this man in the store. Lindsay said, you didn't see him, right?
I saw him briefly. He was like printing something quickly, and then it's like he disappeared, and then he came back and he was gone.
Wow. And so he was listening, obviously, to what we were doing. Chris, the store worker, said he did not see him. But at any rate, Lindsay and I are counting getting our little monies together at the cash register. And he walks in between Lindsay and I and lays a wad of 20s on the counter and says, here's $200. You guys are doing a good thing. And he looked at me in my eyes, and I was stunned. Lindsay's face is about as red as her shirt. The Chris, the man who works there, he's literally bent over on the counter crying.
Yeah, it was so moving.
My eyes filled with tears. I'm just looking at the man. I just can't even speak. And he says, you're doing a good thing. Wow. So that brought us down to $114 out of pocket. Mm-hmm. And then the next day, I guess Lindsay's friend saw it, and she donated $100. So basically, we paid $14 to ship stuff, almost 12,000 products to blessed people of Ukraine. What is the moral of this story? Can I tell you what the moral of the story is? And I'll say it until I leave here. When God tells you to do something, just do it. All the way driving to the UPS store. The devil was like, you're going to look stupid because it's going to be about $1,000. Lindsay, you don't know what I was going through in that car in front of you.
Right.
And I was like, no, he going to have to do something.
Yep.
He showed up. And so whatever it is, where there's a will, there's a way, Nicole.
Amen. I mean, I believe
Period.
it.
Point blank, right?
It's true.
So yes, we are excited about what we're doing to end period poverty. I do want to talk about how we can help people here in Kansas City and across the globe. We have, I know Nicole, No Shame, is helping people here in Kansas City, and how can they reach you? What are your services that you're offering? How do they receive your services?
Sure. We're mostly, what we do right now is we have community partners, and we've talked about how I call them community partners because I essentially am reaching out to organizations like Operation Breakthrough, Learning Club KC, Boys and Girls Club of KC, and I'm giving them our period packs. So we have period packs that come with either 20 tampons and wipes or 14 pads, some liners and wipes. And that's kind of our main product that we do. We've just found that that really helps people. It takes care of a period, usually a full cycle is what we're trying to tackle at a time. So we have our list of community partners at our website. So you could reach out to any of those partners, but you can also message us at No Shame in KC on Facebook and Instagram, No Shame in KC at gmail.com, and on our website as well. If you have a personal need, I try to also try to meet individual needs, especially for people without transportation. We do the best we can with that. So I try to meet the needs where I can. So always reach out to us. If we can't help you, we will find a resource that works with your schedule or your location. So well, it's a community effort. So we are more than happy to bring in anybody we need to meet a need for somebody. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. That is No Shame in the letter N or IN.
IN. Yes.
No Shame INKC at gmail.com.
Yep.
No Shame INKC.com for the website.
That'll take you there. Yep.
Okay, very good. Very good. So there you can reach out to No Shame in KC to learn how you can support the organization, volunteer for the organization, fill period packs, donate. You can learn where you can drop off period products. They have locations across the city in Kansas and Missouri where you can leave donations to support their mission to end period poverty. Lindsay, tell us how I Support the Girls is helping the community.
Yes. So our main focus is obviously the menstrual hygiene products. We also focus and collect and distribute gently new and used bras, new underwear for anybody. And then we also collect small bags as well, so we can fill those with tampons and pads and get those period packs out. And you can find us isupportthegirls.org. There's other programs. You can sponsor a kit for somebody else throughout the country and help send that to them. You can also check out I Support the Girls Kansas City on Facebook or ISTG_KC on Instagram. And same deal, you can figure out who our local business partners are. We have donated to over 125 local organizations, schools, shelters, anything like that over the last 3 years. And we hope that continues to grow. We have ongoing partners, but we always love finding out a new partner that would benefit from these products as well. So anyone can reach out to us that way and we can connect throughout the city. I'm based in Overland Park, but we try to cover as much of the KC metro area as we can.
Awesome, and I thank you. isupportthegirls.org. isupportthegirls.org. You can also receive support from Giving Hope and Help. We are located at givinghopeandhelp.org, all spelled out, givinghopeandhelp.org. We have a free period pantry every first Saturday of the month. You can come to our free period pantry and you can pick out any product that you use to manage your menstrual cycle. Pads, tampons, reusable pads, Diva cups, packaged underwear. It is all free. Did I say free? Yes. All of our services, I Support the Girls, No Shame, Giving Hope and Help. We provide free services, which means we love and we welcome donations of any size on our websites. Giving Hope and Help also has a fifth Saturday where we partner with harvesters in the city of Mission at Shawnee Mission North High School parking lot every fifth Saturday. So actually yesterday was the fifth Saturday of April, and Giving Hope and Help gave out I think about 1,000 period products to the community. So we do that every fifth Saturday, 7:30 a.m. on the fifth Saturday at Shawnee Mission North High School. On the first Saturday, which I already talked about, I forgot to give you the location. The first Saturday of the month is at St. Paul AME Zion Church. It's a partnership with Giving Hope and Help and St. Paul AME Zion. It is from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. every first Saturday for the remainder of this year, with the exception of July, because it's the 4th of July weekend. We will have free period products for you. You can go to our website and RSVP if you like, and that way you can put the size of underwear that you wear, and we will make certain that we have them. We often give out additional things, shoes, clothing, whatever it is we have. We don't collect those things, but sometimes we get a donation, a one-off donation, and we like to give that stuff out to the community, body products and things of that nature. So there are plenty services between No Shame, I Support the Girls, and Giving Hope and Help for you to manage your cycle. Like I said, if your organization needs support, Giving Hope and Help supports organizations with period products. So you can go to our website and your organization can make a request to receive period products from us so that we can, kind of like No Shame does, you give them to an organization and they give them out. So we do that same thing with the community and with organizations that are our partners. We love to support. We want to, like I said in the beginning of the show, we believe that no menstruator without period products must become a reality, period. So it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter your income. There's no questions asked. It's an item of dignity. If you saw somebody that was thirsty, you would definitely give them some water if you had it. So let's just do this with the period products. Let's, kill the stigma. It's not an embarrassment. It is a natural bodily function, and it is life. And May the 28th, the whole world is going to be talking about it. I told the girls it should be the whole month. Month of May should be National Menstrual Awareness Month, just like you have National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We can just make that if we want to, Lindsay and Nicole.
Yeah, I'm on board.
National Menstrual Hygiene Awareness Month. It's May for us, but the actual day is May the 28th. And I am going to challenge you. Please tell us if you're doing anything on that day, Nicole and Lindsay.
I'll probably do a special call for donations and things like that. Maybe an educational post too, just kind of breaking down what it means to have menstrual equity, where we're failing in our society, and try to inspire people to donate.
Good. That's
good.
I'll
probably do something similar, and maybe even make a donation specifically for that day for a local organization.
That's awesome. Well, it doesn't take a lot. You know what I mean? Like you said, even just a post brings awareness. And so we want to do that. Giving Hope and Help is going to be hosting several period packing parties with the name is leaving me, so I'm gonna have to look at my calendar. We are hosting a couple of period packing parties with Girls on the Run, and we are partnering with them 3 times a month of May. So it's all in the name of National Menstrual Hygiene Day. And we will be educating the girls on menstruation. It's very important that we don't forget about the education part, to teach girls how to manage their cycle. So we do a presentation on menstruation education and period poverty, and we teach girls how to care for themselves. We teach them about ovulation. I do believe there's a direct connection with girls ovulating and getting pregnant, and they don't know that is how you get pregnant when you ovulate. Girls don't know that they can get pregnant before they have their first cycle if they have sex during ovulation. These are educational points that need to be taught to girls, and it's very important. It's all about reproductive health, and the menstruation needs to be viewed as a world issue and not a woman or a girl or a menstruator issue. So yes, so I would like to challenge you, listeners, to do something in honor of National Menstrual Hygiene Month, the month of May. Throughout this month, buy a girlfriend a pack of panty liners. Who knows? Make it fun. Do something fun. Have a get together, and have everyone bring pads and tampons. Donate them to No Shame. Donate them to I Support the Girls, and just make it fun. Decrease the stigma. Mm-hmm. Have a birthday bash and have people bring. That's what Lindsay did with her birthday. That's how I found to Giving Hope and Help. Had a birthday bash, and everybody had to bring pads and tampons. It's not hard. It's so not hard. You can get a package.
Sorry, Jessica.
No,
I was just going to add this whole meaning of this conversation too, of like, even if you just talk about it, and if we talk about it more without whispering, or without feeling like we can't talk about it around certain people. I think that can go a long way too. And it shows, these younger generations aren't feeling that stigma as much because it is so normal. And so I think if you can donate, that is fabulous. And if you can't, if you could have a conversation with somebody, that can go a long way too in helping decrease the stigma.
Absolutely. Change begins with the conversation. And so thank you for sharing that. I do want to share that our sisters across the globe, not just in Ukraine, but in Peru and Africa and Haiti and everywhere, they need our support as well. And Giving Hope and Help has been sponsoring Smart Child Kenya. This is our 5th year. And yesterday I posted the girls saying thank you. They were waving the panties and they were saying thank you for supporting. And I tell you what, that brings tears to my eyes every time. Mm-hmm. These are faces that we see that are receiving our support from across the world. Wow. That is just amazing. Yes. That is just amazing. So if you have not had a chance to see the video, the latest one of the girls from Smart Child Kenya, thanking Giving Hope and Help for supporting them. Like I said, this is our 5th year. We just send funding. They make their own reusable pads and they buy their panties. And when they make them and get their panties, they're so excited. The girls get 2 pair of panties for a whole year and 2 reusable pads for a whole year. Yeah. Let that sink in. Yeah. We got work to do. We got work to do. Listen, the time is already gone. It goes fast. I cannot thank you enough, Nicole. Any quick 10-second closing remarks, Nicole?
Just thank you so much for bringing me into this conversation, for all that you do. You're an inspiration. Love Giving Hope and Helping. I support the girls. And yeah, let's just keep tackling period poverty till every administrator has what they need.
Thank you so much, Nicole, for being here. Lindsay? 3 seconds.
Yes, I just want to say thank you too. I'm grateful to be here in this space and to know both of you. And it truly isn't, it's just a good feeling knowing that other people are doing that, right? Like we're not alone, to persevere, to keep doing what we feel called to do, and to make a difference when we can. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. Listen, you've been tuned in to Kansas City's global community radio station, KUAW, with Jessica Lynn Speaks Life. We'll be back on the 3rd Sunday of this month from 5 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be blessed. Mm-hmm.